What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm taking a look at the sneaker releases in the second half of August 2019, and I'm letting you know whether I think each one of these releases is going to sit on shelves or sell out. And I'm happy to say that finally, after like a month and a half of just boring releases, we finally have a second half of a month, which is absolutely insane, and I would buy pretty much everything on today's list, and I haven't said that in a really long time. I'm stoked, you guys, and I just can't wait for most of these releases. It's so good to finally have shoes that I'm looking forward to again. I do want to point out that this video is a little bit earlier than it usually would be every month, and that's because I'm actually out of town right now helping my dad move across the country, so I'm filming it even earlier than you guys are seeing it, and because of that, some of these release dates might be a little bit off. So the release dates that I'm giving you are good as of right now, but as we always know, release dates change all the time and new shoes are announced all the time, so it's very possible that like a week down the road something new could pop up that I just didn't know about because I dropped this video so early. But like I said, there are just so many good releases happening this month that if one gets pushed or maybe something else new gets announced, it's not going to be that big of a deal unless it's like a Travis Scott 6, which is very possible. As of right now, there is no solid release date for the Travis Scott 6, so if it happens to drop in August, my bad, I didn't know. But if you've never watched one of my sit or sell videos before, basically the way that these work is I take a look at the sneaker releases in the first half or second half of a month, give you guys my thoughts on each one of those shoes, and let you know whether I think each one of these shoes is gonna sit on shelves or sell out. And as always, it's important to keep in mind that shoes are just shoes. Don't buy them because you're trying to be cool or because you're trying to be popular. Buy a shoe because you like it and not because your friends or some random dude on the internet told you to. But with all of that out of the way, let's jump right into the video and start things off on August 15th. The first shoe dropping is the Nike Joyride Run Flyknit in a couple different colorways, except I guess this is more of a restock because the shoe already released to Nike Plus members on August 1st. I actually did grab a pair of these sneakers and reviewed them, so if you'd like to check out that video, click the link at the top of the screen, and I also did a video where I compared them to Boost and React, and it was an interesting comparison because as much as I thought that I was gonna love Nike Joyride, I didn't like it that much. I think it's a cool looking technology, and I think the idea behind it is cool, even though a lot of people are saying they bit off Puma, which I don't actually think is the case. I think they were both working on it at the same exact time. But I feel like it's a shoe that could have been great, but the execution just wasn't really there. That said, I definitely do not mind the way that this sneaker looks. I don't mind the launch colorway and some of the other colorways that are dropping like gray and black. And even though I think people are really interested in this shoe because of that new technology, I think the price point of 180 bucks is just too high for most people. And so for that reason, I think all of these colorways are gonna sit. After that, we've got another Nike Joyride sneaker, the Nike Joyride NSW Setter. I'm not totally sure what NSW stands for, but it just keeps making me think this shoe is just not safe for work. It's an interesting looking sneaker, and Nike is calling this their more beefed up version of the shoe, and I don't think they mean like in the actual cushioning of the sneaker, I think they mean the overall construction of the upper, because it is definitely a beefier shoe. It's different, it's kind of cool looking, the colorway's alright. I think it's a cool lifestyle version of the Nike Joyride Run Flyknit, and even though it's not something that I would grab, I think some people might be intrigued. However, I don't think that many people are going to be that intrigued by it, so for that reason, I think the shoe is going to sit as well. And after that, we've got the women's exclusive Nike Joyride NSW Optic. This is another lifestyle variant of the Nike Joyride silhouette, and I think it is done a little bit differently because the pockets, rather than being sort of inset into the shoe, are kind of sitting underneath it, almost like the Vapor Max. And while I think the shoe looks fine, I don't think it's going to feel any better than the Joyride Run Flyknit, and I just don't think that many people are going to be that drawn to this sneaker. So for that reason, I think it's going to sit. And then moving on to August 16th, we've got the Nike Air Max 270 React in sort of a white, violet, and yellow colorway. The color blocking on this shoe is very similar to the original release colorway, and I don't think it's a bad looking shoe. I'm actually kind of into it. I still don't love the weird feeling that you get from the heel to toe transition on this shoe when you go from the 270 Air unit to the React. It's just a really weird feeling to have a heel unit that's a lot stiffer and harder than the front of the shoe. It just doesn't feel right. That doesn't mean I don't like the shoe. I think once you wear it for a while, you get used to it, but it is sort of a jarring transition when you first step into the sneaker. I do think it's a good looking shoe, but I just don't think it's gonna sell out. Then we've got the Joshua Vitas, or Vitas, not exactly sure how to say it, Converse Chuck Taylor High. I'm sure by this point you've seen some of Joshua's work online. It kind of went viral. What he did was buy white shoes and then outline the different panels of the sneaker in black to kind of make the shoe look like a walking sketch. So that's what this collaboration is. It's a Converse Chuck Taylor High with his black outlines around the midsole. I totally love the fact that he's getting a collab with a big company like Converse. That's so cool to see. Congrats to him. And it's so cool to see someone who isn't an athlete or a musician really put in the work work and get an awesome collab like this. It's super cool. I really like the way this sneaker looks, and I think it's a great in for him to get into Nike and do collabs on possibly Air Jordans in the future. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. But with that being said, based on the popularity of his customs, I definitely think this sneaker is gonna sell. On the same day, he also has another pair of Chucks dropping in a more colorful orange and green without the black outlines on the midsole. Again, awesome work, congrats to him. I do think personally I prefer the white and black pair because I just like his outlined look, and I think this orange and green colorway is probably going to sell as well. Then on August 17th, we've got the Nike Air Foamposite Pro in Court Purple and Hyper Royal. And I don't know what the hell they were thinking with this shoe. I'm trying to see if this is like a collab or something, or maybe there's some reason that this shoe exists. It has like a 4.27 rating out of 5 on Sneaker News, and that's with 59 votes. There are 59 people who really like this shoe. I don't know what to say about this. This shoe sucks in my opinion, I hate it. I'm from Baltimore, I should like foams. I'm a Ravens fan, I should like purple. I think the 59 people who like this shoe on sneakernews.com are the only 59 people who are gonna buy this shoe, because not only does it look the way it looks, it's also 230 bucks. I don't think the shoe is gonna sell. Then after that, we've got a pretty major restock of the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 Wave Runner. This shoe might actually be one of my favorite Yeezys of all time, like up in the top 3. It's just such a beautiful sneaker, and it's the first 700, and I think it was the one that was done the best. The hate that I got for pre-ordering this shoe and saying that I liked this shoe before it came out was surprising. Not that surprising because everyone seems to hate. People hated the off-white Air Jordan 1s before they dropped. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I put out a video on them and the comments were like, you suck. I don't remember what video that was, but the comment section was ridiculous. And actually the same thing happened with the 700 video. So you know what, I'm gonna link that video at the top of the screen if you guys wanna read through some of those comments. And it's amazing to see how much hype really changes people's minds. I think the 700 is an awesome sneaker. I've always thought it's an awesome sneaker, and I will continue to think it's an awesome sneaker. So I'm really excited for this restock because my pair is getting a little raggedy. And of course, because this is one of the most coveted Yeezy 700 colorways, I definitely think this shoe is gonna sell out. And then rounding off the 17th, we've got the women's Air Jordan 1 Satin Black Toe. I have never been so happy that I have small feet in my entire life. I can buy these shoes, and some of you can't. That sucks. These shoes are fire. These shoes are absolutely fire. The black toe colorway is awesome. The fact that they're satin is also pretty cool as well. They're dope. However, it does kind of suck that they're only coming out in women's sizing, because women's sizing does tend to be narrower than men's sizing in the same size. So for example, if I bought a women's 10.5, which is technically a men's size 9, which is my size, it would still be narrower than a standard men's size 9 because the cut of the shoe is just different. That said, I don't think it's going to deter a lot of people, and if you don't believe me, look at all the other women's Air Jordan 1 satin releases. They're all gone. And like those other satin releases, this pair is definitely going to sell. Then moving on to August 24th, we've got the Air Jordan 12 Phebe. This white, gold, and red Air Jordan 12 is dropping in honor of the FIBA World Cup, which is happening this summer. Although a lot of our best players are not playing this year, I'm still holding out hope because the NBA is, you know, the main place where basketball happens, so I still think we got a good shot. This Air Jordan 12 definitely looks good, even though I personally think this colorway is a little bit dull. I'm actually kind of torn whether this sneaker is gonna sit or sell because it's not an amazing colorway, but it has some accents that I think really attract people's attention, like the gold and red. But after that cool gray release that didn't sell out, I don't know if these are any more attractive than those, so for that reason, I'm gonna give these guys a sit. Then we've got the Adidas Yeezy 500 in the bone white colorway. I feel like this is the third time we've seen this shoe and it's a brand new colorway. What's going on? I'm not really the biggest fan of the Yeezy 500. I don't think it's a bad shoe, I think it's comfortable, and I'm actually growing to like the way that it looks. However, I don't like the fact that 3 out of the 4 colorways that have dropped look pretty much identical. And now we're getting another one that looks exactly like the other 3. Which is absolutely insane to me. I don't understand what's going on. I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand why this shoe looks so similar. Give us something different. Just any other color. Any other color that you haven't done. We haven't had a 500 in a while, and I think people are probably ready to start getting 500s again. So for that reason, I think it's gonna sell. Then on August 30th, we've got the brand new Nike Alpha Dunk, Dunk of Death. Let me preface this by saying I've heard a lot of good things about this shoe. I heard it's an excellent on-court performer. I know a lot of people are really excited about it. But I think this could possibly be the ugliest basketball shoe to release in the last 5 years. I think it's ridiculous. Why does it look like this? I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. The Nike Alpha Dunk is not a signature shoe, so you can't blame a signature athlete for it, because usually athletes have some input on their sneakers. But I also don't want to blame the Nike design team, because I'm sure there was a reason they did it like this, because I'm sure, you know, it performs a certain way because it looks this way. And it's not like I think this is a bad colorway. You can't really go wrong with black and red. I've seen other colorways of this shoe and they look just as bad. In fact, in some cases, I think they look worse. And I just don't understand why this shoe has to look like this. I don't get it. Am I the only one that thinks that? Am I the only one who doesn't like this shoe? I have no idea. I definitely have to pick up a pair to review because I just don't like it that much, and I feel like those reviews are fun to watch. So I'll definitely be grabbing a pair for myself, but I'd love to know your thoughts on this shoe, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. That said, I think this is strictly a performance shoe, and hopefully no person will ever be seen on the street in this sneaker, and so for that reason, I think this shoe is gonna sit. And then rounding off the month on August 31st, we've got the Adidas DON Issue 1 Iron Spider. Donovan Mitchell's DON Issue 1 is a $100 sneaker that looks great and apparently performs great as well. All the colorways are based off Spider-Man characters, which I think is pretty cool. I'm interested to see what he does with his second signature model and whether it's still gonna have that same sort of theme or maybe be based off a different character. Either way, I think this is one of the strongest colorways that he's released so far, and I'm pretty excited to see it in person. Even though it's a strong sneaker and it's priced so incredibly well, I don't think there's enough hype behind it for it to really sell out. And so for that reason, I'm gonna give it a sit. After that, we've got 4 brand new and bright colorways of Pharrell's Adidas Solar Hue Glide. This shoe is dropping in purple, red, blue, and yellow, and I actually think all of these colorways are pretty clean. And surprisingly for me, I might actually grab the yellow one. I don't usually like yellow shoes, but there's something about this pair. According to Oh It's Teddy, the Solar Hue Glide is the most comfortable Adidas shoe on the market right now. I don't totally think that's true, but that's his opinion, and you know, he was the boost god, so gotta take his opinion pretty seriously. I think all these colorways are great, and I like the silhouette. I think it's a pretty solid release. But as we saw with the recent Solar Hue Glide release, none of those colorways really sold, and for that reason, I think these colorways aren't gonna sell either. And then rounding off the video with my favorite release of the month, the Air Jordan 1 Obsidian. This colorway is dope. I love it. It's one of my favorite Air Jordan 1 releases of the year. I may have already bought it off GOAT and paid too much for it, but make sure to stay tuned for a review because as soon as I get back from my trip, I'll have one out for you. Not much to say about it. It's a great looking Air Jordan 1. The colorway is really clean and looks very easy to rock, and can't wait to have my pair. And of course, with the crazy Air Jordan 1 hype right now, I just don't see any way that this sneaker could not sell out. But that pretty much wraps up the list of releases as we know it right now. Now I would love to know your thoughts on these drops and which ones you're looking forward to most. For me, it's the Obsidian ones and the Satin ones and the Yeezy restock. There's a lot of stuff that I want. But make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.